Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dwarven Tavern. I am Dr. Jeff Goins, your host once again with another review. And since we're apparently in the tiles and cards and all that stuff mood, I am going to show you the Bestiary battle cards. This goes for $59. $59.99, and it has creatures upon creatures upon creatures. And let's see, what does it say here? 450 cards. So yeah, $60 is not a biggie. New and exciting way for your monsters to leap into action at the table. Each card features a beautiful full color image of a bestiary monster on one side, while the other side provides the monster's statistics for quick and easy reference. Okay, so not sure if that was a great idea to have, because if you got the, you're like, well, I see that you come across this creature, and they're like, oh, that's a harpy. Like, don't look. So, if you don't want them to see what it is before you sick it on them, make sure you have it behind your screen. It has, interestingly, I'm seeing that some of the larger entry creatures, the ones that require more description, have more than one card. And let me find one real quick here. Right away, the Rune Giant. Okay, the Rune Giant, it actually has two cards, and you can see that they're both have the same back. The card is very well laid out, just like the page of their bestiary books, with all of the stats on tabs across the top. It's uncommon, lawful evil, gargantuan, evil giant, humanoid. Then it has a perception, plus 28, with low light vision. That is a really cool thing. I really like the way they have that laid out, because you don't have to go looking to see how easy this thing is going to find your folks as they go through the dungeon, or they go through the crypt, or the forest, or the dead volcano, or etc., etc. So I like that. It right away it tells you, does it see me? You don't have to do which I always do when I'm looking for stuff, because it helps me relax. So it's perception plus 28. It speaks Common, Jotun, which would be Jotunheim, right? The Viking world, and Terran. It has skills of plus 28 Arcana, plus 32 Athletics, plus 28 Crafting, etc., etc. It's got all of its stats. It's pluses to Strength, pluses to Dex, and so forth, so you can give it you can make it whatever you want it to be. If it's 3 to 18, the average is 10, 11, like that. So if you wanted to have a 19 strength, you can have a 19 strength. If you wanted it to have a 27 strength, you could have a 27 strength, just depending on the creature and all that stuff, which could be a little bit of a pain, just to not have the numbers actually delineated for you. But, stop being lazy. I will try it as well. And it also includes what items it has, like the plus 2 greater striking greatsword, or a striking greater strike sword, a plus 1 striking long spear, splint mail, armor class of 38, all of its saving throws, all of its stuff as well. And it comes in what looks like to be a number of packs of, remember what I said, even zero's a number. So if you have 0, it still has 0. This includes a number of dice. The number is 0. This doesn't. Don't do that. I'm not misleading you. It does not have dice with it. So I'm gonna open another pack. Take a look. Arboreal Awakened Tree, the Aeon, the Abattoir, which is it's an inevitable, I believe. The Aeon, the Arbiter, the Axiomite. Yeah, these are the inevitables. Let's see, the Kaliarut, or the Koliaret, pronounce it as you wish. I am but a messenger. Yeah, I strongly recommend keeping these guys behind your screen, unless you see this. It's coming right at you. Throw it in. And it's got all of the information for all of the monsters, which they're in alphabetical order. And I know it's going to drive me out of my mind trying to keep them in order, but as you pull things out, they invariably get shuffled, which again, it drives me out of my mind. So, and then we'll take one more pack out and take a look at it. I'm sure they're all the same. I mean, they're not all the same card. They're all the same format. Ultimately, I'll open them all. Okay, So something that just occurred is I opened a brand new pack that had the second card of the Tarn Lenorn. I find myself pressed to find the first card of the set. So we will see where it is, because this is a rust monster, so that's probably not right. Okay, so we've got the Stone Giants, which ends in... there it is. Didn't have to open a new pack after all. There's the Tarn Lenorm, which is the Proto-Dragons, right? So we will keep these in order as much as my apparent OCD will allow. I'll go ahead and open this pack since I'm in the opening mood. We'll see what all we got here. It has 450. If you can't find what you're looking for in this, then you'll probably have to buy another deck or another set when they come out. The Bestiary 2, and these are battle cards, so I guess you could make it a goal to fight everything in here. Vampire Spawn, the Warg, the Were Creature, Werewolf, Were Rat, the Wolf, the Castle. I would say where's that from, but you know, it's such a famous line. Yeah, I like this, the Wendigo. One of the most terrifying creatures of all time. The Wendigo, the Native North American spirit of cannibalism, which what could be more horrifying than that? People who eat people. The thing that I found the most incredible about the Wendigo, I don't know if that's supposed to be Braille. Little dots on the side, I think it's just where the cards were printed. But when the Wendigo is created, when a Wendigo spirit happens, it has no feet because it is rejected by the earth. So it is not allowed to touch the earth again, which is amazing. That's an amazing thing to me. I just love that. I love that legend. It's a horrible, awful creature born of terrible roots, but the story behind it is just fantastic. And actually, the story, Stephen King's Pet Sematary, right? That was about the Wendigo, and that story actually scared him so bad that he had to stop writing it for like 2 years and come back to it because it gave him the shivers, which I think is really cool. So all these creatures are great with their perspective. And you know, another thing that I find cool about this is the fact that you have when you are showing people out of the book where what they're fighting. You know, you see this. I had some friends who when I showed them the picture in the book, they would be like, stats, what stats? And I'd have to go to all kind of trouble to hide the stats because they were cheating bastards, every one of them. And this way you don't. You can pull up this card and say, you see this thing gliding across the tops of the headstones or what have you, and they go, oh God, no, why? I'm like, because I don't like you. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to risk them seeing the stats if you want to show them this at all. Otherwise, you can just describe what you see on the back of the card. It looks like a rotting corpse-like creature with smoking and some kind of an eerie, infernal, unnatural light shining from its eyeless sockets and mouth. And of course, you know, with this illustration, it is a white, right? There you go. So you can show them, or you can describe it as you see it and really freak them out. So another 5-axe performance from the wondrous gents at Paizo. I'm going to take a break from Paizo material for a bit. I have a few more things that I need to review. But I'm gonna do some Traveler stuff next and some Palladium material with all that stuff. Kevin, I mean, he's like the Stephen King of role-playing games. He just writes and writes and writes and writes and writes. This accessory is the Pathfinder Bestiary battle cards. Again, it goes for 1 cent shy of $60, and I think it's a pretty valuable asset to your game. So it's definitely officially 5 axes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I suggest getting it and keeping up your Pathfinder 2nd edition stuff as it comes out, because you don't want to get behind, man, because they'll just keep piling it on. You'll suffocate, you'll die, you'll drown. I can think of worse ways to go than drowning in role-playing game stuff, honestly. I still don't want to. So, again, the Battle Bestiary cards from Paizo, $59.99. 5 axes. And on that happy note, on behalf of the entire cast and crew of the Dwarven Tavern, I am Dr. Jeff Goins, your inimitable host. Maybe I am imitable. I don't know. We wish for you to want for nothing but adventure. And at first I feared it, then I charged with any one of a number of sharpened blades, which you need for this particular setup. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.